guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share with you how to make like the ultimate stuffing for a big crowd. Now, this is going to feed a lot of people, and you got to keep in mind stuffing is made out of bread. So when I tell you that this pan can feed about 20 people, 16 to 20 people, you're going to have to just trust me and believe me. What I've got here is a couple of baguettes. I purchased these yesterday afternoon, and they're not super stale. I mean, they're pretty still soft and chewy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop them into the oven. I love this method because, I mean, you can tear the bread or cut it if you want to, but I think you're getting too many uniform pieces, too many little squares, and if you're gonna go that route, you might as well just buy stuffing cubes. One of the great things about this stuffing is all of these pieces of bread that are so irregular, but they get so crispy around the edges on the top, and they just give you a lot of really good texture. So that's why I'm tearing it by hand, and it does make a big difference. So I like to use baguettes for this. Sourdough works really well. Any like country style, like sort of, you know, with a bread with a little bit of a crust on the outside works really, really well for this. Now, I've got my oven preheated to 325 because what I'm going to do is I'm going to dress these lightly, kind of like I would croutons, and I'm going to pop them into my oven just to dry them out and get them a little toasty, but I'm not looking for like a lot of brown, caramelized, you know, deeply golden crisp. I will show you what it looks like when we get there, but I'm using the pan that I'm gonna serve this in because, you know, why dirty another baking sheet? And yeah, if you don't want to go the route of having to toast your bread, I would just tear it or cut it, whatever you prefer. Leave it on a baking sheet or in a large pan like this, uncovered overnight, and it will do the job of drying it out. So whatever you want. All right, got all my bread. Now I want to dress this because I think every layer of your food should be dressed, and it should be delicious, and it should be well seasoned. So I'm just going to do a little olive oil, salt and pepper, toss it around really, really good. Again, like you're making croutons, but not as perfect, not as golden brown and crispy. Do you know what I mean? You're almost like drying out the bread with a little bit of flavor. Because when you're buying, say you're buying stuffing cubes or whatever, right? 9 times out of 10, they are seasoned. And so while I like to do this with fresh bread, you know, with my own ingredients, I still want to make sure that every layer is really, really delicious. And that's what gives you a really good dish at the end of it. Like when we made our green bean casserole, like we salted the water before we cooked the green beans really well. We salted the soup, you know, the soup mixture that coated the green beans, and then there's a flavor and salt in the bacon. So that combined all together just makes for a really well-rounded seasoned dish. I'm just tossing the bread around a bit, and now I'm just going to pop this into my oven. It's only at 325, and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Don't crank the heat up to 400. Again, we're not making salad croutons here. I'll show you what they look like, but you're going to want to come in and toss them around just to make sure that they're all getting the love from the oven that they deserve. My bread is perfect. It was in the oven for about an hour, and every 15-20 minutes I just came in here and just gave it a little tossy toss, and it's glorious and it's beautiful. And you could use this to make panzanella if you wanted to, like a marinated panzanella, and it would be delicious. But today we're making stuffing. For the veg portion, I just like onion and celery. What I also need for my stuffing is some Italian sausage, because I love Italian sausage, and I think everybody else should love Italian sausage. But I cannot really eat a stuffing without sausage in it, because one, sausage is delicious, and two, you need a little saltiness. You need a little bit of balance with the all bread situation, and I think Italian sausage is perfect for that. You could use a chorizo if you wanted to get fancy, but for my favorite, easy, all-purpose, everyone's favorite stuffing, it's got to be Italian sausage. I'm going to make this in a big pot because that's what I'm going to stir everything in, because I don't have a bowl that's big enough to hold everything without having it go all over the place. And I have a little bit of oil in this pot. Okay, and I am just gonna come in here and break this up a little bit. Just give it a chance to get started cooking, and then you can come in here and break it up even more. I don't go too crazy from the very beginning. I also want that oil and fat in there, so don't even think about draining it because you're making a lot of stuffing. For my onions and celery, you can give it a fine dice, everything together, or you can do what I do, is throw it in a food processor and chop it until it's fine. Don't turn this into a paste. That is not what you're looking for. You want a really fine chop. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll babysit my sausage, and I'll show you the next step. Sausage is all crispy and nibbly and delicious. If there are any big chunks here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my knife through it once it's cooled down just a bit while the veggies cook down. But all of this fat that's rendered, all of the fat that's rendered, you've got a few tablespoons in there, but you're going to need a little bit more, like a lot more. And to that, I'm going to add a whole stick of butter, which is a half a cup. You have to keep in mind you're feeding a lot of people, and you want to be able to give your stuffing incredible, incredible flavor. And you do that by cooking it in lots of butter, really giving the veggie, the onions and the celery, some time for them to cook down, develop some flavor, develop a little bit of color, and magical things are going to happen here. So I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes. And then once it's cooked, I will season it with a little bit of salt once it's done. And then I'll grab a couple more ingredients and then we'll get this thing going and popping it in the oven. These look good. They've cooked down quite a bit. Nice and soft. By the way, I've got a sous chef. She insisted, and I just can't say no to my sous chef. Right, baby? I've added a good amount of salt here because there's a lot of onions. I used 3 onions, 3 medium onions, and they're very, very sweet, especially when they cook down. So at this point, you can add a combination of fresh sage and thyme and rosemary, which I think is making this a little too perfumey. And I always run the risk of some of the herbs being too rough, they've got too much of a bite because those herbs are not as soft and tender like a parsley would be, which we do have fresh. So what I love to do instead is add a little bit of poultry seasoning. It's basically all of those spices pulverized. So it gives you a much more softer note. And so that's what I like to use, but you can use a combination of fresh if you want to. I do about a teaspoon because it's very, very, very potent. And I still want to be able to taste the sausage and my bread. And so I just kind of add this to that mixture. Oh, and it smells insanely, insanely good. Give that a little stir around. And now at this point, we are going to add the bread, the sausage, and lots of fresh parsley to my big pan and start mixing that. Then what we do is we slowly start adding the stock plus some eggs. The eggs are going to give you, it's going to be a great binder, but it's also going to give you literally like a souffle-like texture on the inside and really crispy, lovely bits on the outside. Add it all in here. It's going to be a really big full pot, but it's going to be fantastic. This is why I use my big pot, because I just don't have a bowl that's big enough. And I'm certainly not going to go buy one to use once a year. You make do with what you got. So at this point, I also took some butter and I smeared it in the bottom of the baking pan. I didn't rinse it out because there was a little bit of crumbs in there. Oh well. I'm going to take a little bit of stock at a time. Okay. And I'm just going to mix this around. Really, you want to have some? You can help me pour. Just give me 1 second, okay? Sound good? You don't want this to be a gloopy mess, and you want to give the bread a chance to start absorbing some of the stock before you add more. So just a little bit at a time. Here we go. We're going to add some eggs in here. Beautiful. Go ahead. Good job.
Too many.
That's too many? No, it's just the right amount. We need about 4 eggs. 4 eggs. Just make sure that you give them a little whiskeroo before you add them in. And now I added all the stock. And now that I added my eggs, I'm just going to carefully, you see how the bread is still very much in its chunks? That's what you want, because that's going to give you fantastic texture. Some people love a cornbread stuffing, and a cornbread stuffing is absolutely delicious. But the thing that for me, what makes it not my favorite is that it's all one-dimensional, meaning there's not a lot of texture because cornbread is soft. You know what I mean? This, just you wait. I'm gonna pour all this in here. Make a nice one even layer because I don't like too thick of a layer, otherwise it gets a little too soggy in the middle. That to me is perfect because what you're gonna get is a perfect balance between a little softness, lots of crispy bits, both bottom and on the top. My oven's preheated to 375. I'm gonna cover this with aluminum foil, bake it covered for 30 minutes, take the foil off, and bake it uncovered for another 20 minutes or so. Now, if you are making this in a much smaller dish, so it's gonna be much thicker, you're gonna have to adjust your temperature. You're gonna have to adjust the time you cook this, but because I'm using a nice large dish and it's all pretty much in almost a single layer, it's gonna be perfect. The stuffing was in the oven, remember, covered for 30 minutes, and I took the foil off for another 30 minutes. Now, I like my stuffing like this. I like a thin stuffing. I don't like it too thick because otherwise the center is just too mushy. So for me, this is perfect, right? Because I'm gonna show you what is so good about this. Look at the edges. Look at the crispy edges, right? And the more, you know, closer to the side you get, the crispier they are. But then you've got this lovely center where it's fluffy and soft and almost like souffle-like. And I'm telling you, there's not a whole lot that's better than this. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a bite of the edge because you know I need my crispies. But I've got a good amount of soft, squidgy little center here. That's the only that is the only stuffing I ever want to eat. It is so fantastic. You can't even imagine. I'm a what, baby? I'm a textural person. I need some crunch. I need a little bit of something exciting. And for me, all of these nibbly bits of the like pieces of the bread and the crispy sausage that just sort of peeks up on top, and the center that's all soft and gooey inside, like right here. It's just, it's stuffing heaven. I don't know really what else to say, but it's literally, look at this. Look at it. What are you gonna do? A baby on a counter. Don't worry, the counter's clean. She's clean. We're home. Can you show them your mad face? Can you show them your happy face? Can you say Happy Thanksgiving? Not with that voice, a happy voice. Can you say I love you?
I love you.
No, nicely.
I love you.
Oh my goodness. I love you so much. LauraInthekitchen.com. Recipe will be there. Love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you next time. I'm a mess. It's fine.